Heavenly Father, we thank you for the gift of family, friends, and community. A community where friends meet and eventually become a family. And we consider as in a community a family to come home to freely express ourselves through our potentials, skills, and talents. As we celebrate our 46th year, let us not forget that though we compete each other, we still are a family. And we are grateful for this gift of brotherhood and camaraderie. And at the end of the day, whatever we do and we undertake, this is all for the glory of thy name. Amen. The St. Nicholas Academy CCEI Philosophy of Education. Catholic education is formation, mediation, and transformation. Vision. The St. Nicholas Academy CCEI is a Catholic archdiocesan educational community centered in the person and message of Jesus Christ, animated by gospel values and guided by church teachings and practices. Mission: to adopt and implement the Philippine Catholic school standards. Core values: faith, service, and excellence.
Poland is the Eastern European country that sits right beside the Baltic Sea. Poland is the ninth largest country in the Europe. Poland isn't a small country. It's actually one of the largest ones. Poland is bigger than Italy and the UK. The name Poland or Polska has a meaning. It originates from the name of the tribe Polani, which means people living in open fields. Polish history is very complicated. If you are a fan of Game of Thrones, you might start reading Polish medieval history. The country has been invaded or has fought for freedom over 40 times. Poland even disappeared from world maps between 1772 to 1795. November 11, 1918 is the declaration of their Independence Day. Europe's heaviest animals lives in Poland. The 150,000 hectares of Białowieża primordial forest in Poland is Europe's vast ancient forests and home to 800 European bison. It's the Europe's heaviest land animals. Poland used to have the world's tallest structure. The Warsaw Radio Mass in Constantino know the world's tallest structure from 1974 until it collapsed in 1991. It was the second tallest structure ever built after Burj Khalifa, completed in 2010 with a 2,120.7 feet tall. Poland also has the world's biggest castle. Poland has an impressive 16 World Heritage Sites, and among them is the biggest castle in the world, or what you call Malbork. Wearing a hat indoors is considered rude in Poland. If you wear a hat inside someone's home or church, it's a sign of disrespect. The older generation might feel uncomfortable. Kissing woman's hand is still in fashion in Poland. Polish men generally still tend to observe the chivalry protocol. Don't be surprised if you see this upon the first introduction between a total strangers. The most important thing about Poland is not about the monuments, not about the beautiful places, but the most important thing about will be its people, who strives better not just for themselves but for their whole country. In the 19th century brought the biggest boom of the Polish folk dress. The men's costume called kaftan and zupan is based on a shirt which has a cut identical to the woman's national costume. Except the collar is smaller and the shirt itself is shorter, male hats is usually decorated made from a red fabric and embellished with colorful ribbons and a peacock feather. The traditional Slavic leather footwear called Gizetki or Krapuska are designed for dancing. That is came from the ethnic group called Lakis and Leski. This national costume can be found in Krakow, which is the second largest and one of the oldest cities in Poland. This costume represents festivals, folk weddings, religious holidays, and social or martial status.
Brian Kenneth Kalma Balingit, St. Catherine, Poland.
This Christina folk costume of Poland is the best-known traditional dress. It comes from a village in Lublin province, the southern part of Poland. In the woman's dress, the canvas is embroidered on the cuffs, collar, shoulder pieces, and sometimes around the front opening with special Christina embroidery textile. The apron is unique. It is a short version of the skirt, gathered into a waistband and wrapped completely around the body. The bodice is the typical Polish lace-up type known as gorsetka. The skirt is called spodnik and the jacket łotoka. Additionally, unmarried women wear flowers and ribbons on their heads, while married women wear white kerchiefs. The most common hairstyle for maidens are two braids decorated with flowers and ribbons.
Ashley Kate Coronado Ferrer, St. Catherine, Poland.
right beside the Baltic Sea. Poland is the ninth largest country in the Europe. Poland isn't a small country. It's actually one of the largest ones. Poland is bigger than Italy and the UK. The name Poland or Polska has a meaning. It originates from the name of the tribe Polani, which means people living in open fields. Polish history is very complicated. If you are a fan of Game of Thrones, you might start reading Polish medieval history. The country has been invaded or has fought for freedom over 40 times. Poland even disappeared from world maps between 1772 to 1795. November 11, 1918 is the declaration of their Independence Day. Europe's heaviest animals lives in Poland. The 150,000 hectares of Białowieża primordial forest in Poland is Europe's last ancient forest and home to 800 European bison. It's the Europe's heaviest land animals. Poland used to have the world's tallest structure. The Warsaw Radio Mass in Constantino know the world's tallest structure from 1974 until it collapsed in 1991. It was the second tallest structure ever built after Burj Khalifa, completed in 2010 with a 2,120.7 feet tall. Poland also has the world's biggest castle. Poland has an impressive 16 World Heritage Sites, and among them is the biggest castle in the world, or what you call Malbork. Wearing a hat indoors is considered rude in Poland. If you wear a hat inside someone's home or church, it's a sign of disrespect. The older generation might feel uncomfortable. Kissing woman's hand is still in fashion in Poland. Polish men generally still tend to observe the chivalry protocol. Don't be surprised if you see this upon the first introduction between a total strangers. The most important thing about Poland is not about the monuments, not about the beautiful places, but the most important thing about will be its people, who strives better not just for themselves but for their whole country. In the 19th century brought the biggest boom of the Polish folk dress. The men's costume called kaftan and zupan is based on a shirt which has a cut identical to the woman's national costume. Except the collar is smaller and the shirt itself is shorter, male hats is usually decorated, made from a red fabric and embellished with colorful ribbons and a peacock feather. The traditional Slavic leather footwear called Gizetki or Krapuska are designed for dancing. That is came from the ethnic group called Laki Sendeski. This national costume can be found in Krakow, which is the second largest and one of the oldest cities in Poland. This costume represents festivals, folk weddings, religious holidays, and social or martial status.
Brian Kenneth Kalma Balingit, St. Catherine, Poland.
This Christina folk costume of Poland is the best-known traditional dress. It comes from a village in Lublin province, the southern part of Poland. In the woman's dress, the canvas is embroidered on the cuffs, collar, shoulder pieces, and sometimes around the front opening with special Christina embroidery textile. The apron is unique. It is a short version of the skirt, gathered into a waistline and wrapped completely around the body. The bodice is the typical Polish lace-up type known as gorsetka. The skirt is called spodnik and the jacket łotoka. Additionally, unmarried women wear flowers and ribbons on their hands, while married women wear white kerchiefs. The most common hairstyle for maidens are two braids decorated with flowers and ribbons.
Ashley Kate Coronado Ferrer, St. Catherine, Poland.
Mexico is located on the North American continent and shares borders with the USA in the north and Belize and Guatemala in the south. The border between Mexico and the USA is the second longest border in the world and is about 3,155 kilometers and 2,000 miles long.
Mexico has mountains in the eastern and northern parts of the country, rainforests in the southern and eastern parts, and desert in the west.
Mexico is situated on the Ring of Fire, the world's most prominent volcano and earthquake region.
The flag shows three bands in green, white, and red. The emblem on the white ground shows an eagle standing on a cactus with a snake in the beak.
The colors of the Mexican flag stands for independence, unity, and religion.
Mexico is one of the world's top travel destinations, and for US travelers, Mexico is the top destination.
Chichen Itza, built by the Maya people, is a World Heritage Site and visited by more than 1 million people every year.
Acapulco, the bay on the Pacific Ocean, is home to Mexico's most popular beach city with golden sandy beaches, lots of holiday resorts, and known by families for its magnificent water sports park. Mexico's busiest port is quite a sight too.
Mexico City. The capital city is built on the site of the former Aztec capital Tenochtitlan. Make sure to also visit the ruins of the ancient Aztec pyramids at nearby Teotihuacan.
Oaxaca. Visit the archaeological site of the Monte Alban, ruin shop at the city's colorful market, or see the rock formation and bubbling waters at Hierve el Agua.
Most people in Mexico speak Spanish. Mexico is the country with the most Spanish speakers in the world.
Mexicans are known as very friendly and welcoming foreigners. They are really fond of kids.
Chocolate, chilies, and corn come originally from Mexico. One dish many of you will know is chili con carne, a spicy minced meat dish with beans.
Guacamole, avocado dip made with mashed avocados, salt and lime or lemon juice, often also with chili peppers.
tortilla, Mexican corn or wheat flour, flatbread, is eaten with almost every dish. A tortilla is eaten with meat, cheese, potato, or vegetables.
Sauce. Tortilla chips often served hot with melted cheese or spicy mint sauce, usually eaten as a snack.
Muerto, sweet bread roll baked for the Day of the Dead, which is celebrated on 1st and 2nd of November.
Know that? Hot chocolate was considered the sacred drink by the Aztecs.
representando la tierra de los extremos de México.
Republic of South Africa. Africa.
Black or white, we are one. We are African. I am Carl Timothy B. Ramirez from grade 9 St. Lucie, representing Africa.
No more slavery, no more slave among ordinary. I am Joy Mary Nicole H. Manaloto from grade 9 St. Lucie, representing the land of Mother Continent, Africa.
The Galapagos Islands remain one of the most active volcanic regions in the world, and the formation of the islands still in progress. The Galapagos were declared part of the Galapagos National Park. The main attraction here is many bird species, of which 28 to the islands including the Galapagos penguin. Quito is the capital of Ecuador, is filled with colonial architecture and is the largest historic center in South America. The most famous attraction in Quito's historic center is the San Francisco Church on the Plaza San Francisco. Cuenca. The beautiful city of Cuenca, officially known as Santa Ana de los Cuatro Rios de Cuenca, and home to some 330,000 souls, is located in southern Ecuador and is a delightful place to explore on foot. The Boardwalk of Guayaquil, Ecuador's largest city in terms of population, estimated of 2.3 million. The Pacific port of Guayaquil is well known as the gateway to the Galapagos Islands. Cotopaxi and Cajas National Parks. Two of Ecuador's most popular national parks, Cotopaxi and Cajas, are within easy driving distances from the cities of Cuenca and Quito, make wonderful day trips.
Nariz del Diablo, also known as the Devil's Nose. A visit to the stunningly beautiful Nariz del Diablo should be on everyone's bucket list. Whether you are a train enthusiast or not, this spectacular part of the Andes Mountains near the town of Alausi is best seen aboard one of the country's superbly restored railways. Hot Spring of Baños. Thanks to its lovely surroundings and numerous hot springs, the small town of Baños de Agua Santa is a popular tourist destination within central Ecuador. The Otavalo Market. The town's big draw is its excellent market, one of the largest in South America. where locals and tourists come to buy locally made rugs, blankets, sweaters, and many more, made by the indigenous Otavaleños people. Beaches of Salinas, Bahia, and the Montañita. Best known for its ecotourism and adventure travel opportunities, Ecuador also boasts a number of beautiful beaches worth visiting. One of the most popular areas due to its many beach resorts is the coastal city of Salinas, located a little west of Guayaquil and boasting a consistently warm climate year-round. Amazon's upper reaches in Tena, another excellent place from which to experience some of the vast Amazon basin, is the city of Tena, capital of the province of Napo.
And fertile soil, the ocean and clear skies,
and the blood spilled by the heroes
who died in the name of their countrymen,
fatherland,
and freedom.
Ecuador! From Ecuador.
Representing Ecuador.
Ni hao,
您好，
shen wo, 我的名字是 Kabiling Gabriel Luis,
我叫 Santos Georgia Sirin.
song
Great and Saint
Bridget. Today we're gonna talk about China.
China is the world's third biggest country by territory. It is one of the longest running civilizations on Earth with its unique and attractive culture. It has developed at record speed to become the second largest economy in the world. China holds innumerable attractions for tourists to explore. China's biggest national festival is Chinese New Year, and their national day is October 1. China is the most populated country in the world. As of July 2016, China reached a population of 1.39 billion. In fact, 1 in every 5 people alive is Chinese. One child is born every 2 seconds, while 1 person dies every 2.5 seconds. China was known for its one-child policy.
China is among the most ancient civilizations, along with Babylonian, Mayan, and Egyptian. There has been official documentation of Chinese history for more than 3,000 years. At 9.6 million square kilometers, China is the third largest country by area in the world. It has a north-south extent of 3,900 kilometers and an east-west extent of 5,000 kilometers. 33% of China's territory is mountainous, 26% high plateaus, 19% basins and deserts, 12% plain regions, and 10% hills. China has the highest point in the world. Mount Everest is a peak in the Himalayan mountain range. It is located between Nepal and Tibet, an autonomous region of China.
China has been the world's fastest growing economy for the last 30 years. China is known as the factory of the world. It is the world's largest producer of concrete, steel, fertilizer, clothing, and toys. Chinese is the origin of the only surviving pictographic writing system. It is often believed to be the most spoken and most difficult to learn first language.
China has no unifying religion, but people hold a wide range of beliefs, from atheism or ancestor worship to one of the four major religions: Buddhism, Taoism, Islam, or Christianity.
China is an amazing destination for tourists. The Great Wall of China, the world's longest wall, the world's largest collection of 2,000-year-old life-size figurines, the Terracotta Army, and the world's largest ancient palace, the Forbidden City.
And of course, don't forget about their delicious food. Their most famous dishes are Peking duck, sweet and sour pork, Kung Pao chicken, Mapo tofu, wonton soup, dumplings, spring roll, and chow mein.
Chopsticks were developed about 5,000 years ago in China. At first, chopsticks were generally kitchen utensils, but it became the common way to eat meals in the Ming Dynasty. The Chinese have been flying kites for nearly 3,000 years. It is said that two philosophers invented them in the 5th century BC.
Football or soccer, the most popular sports in the world. It was invented in China over 2,000 years ago during the Han Dynasty in 2nd and 3rd century BC. Chinese character, also known as Hanzi, it is a pictographic writing system, and it is also the oldest continuously used writing system in the world.
The Chinese flag is a red field with 5 golden stars in the canton. The red symbolizes the Communist Revolution and the national color as well. The largest star represents communism, while the 4 small stars signify the social classes of the Chinese community. Confucius was China's most famous philosopher. He lived in ancient China during the Zhou dynasty.
With a rich history of more than 5,000 years, China enjoyed a lot of traditional festivals such as Spring Festival, Lantern Festival, Tube Sweeping Day to the Dragon Festival and Mid-Autumn Day, each with its significance and features. Chinese people place a great importance on family and family structure. Marriage, family, and children are all extremely important, and many Chinese families live revolve solely around the youngest children.
Ping pong, also known as table tennis, is the most popular amateur sport in China, with approximately 300 million regular ping pong players. Tea is the national beverage of China, and in traditional Chinese tea culture, the way you drink tea and which tea you drink can show your social status.
China is home to the world's largest canal, the Grand Canal. Starting at Beijing, it is the longest in the world at 1,115 miles, and it is not only the longest in the world, but also the oldest canal.
Chinese culture is important, as it plays a significant role in defining every aspect of a Chinese individual's life. This includes the way the individual conducts business, how one treats family and elders, and how responsibilities are distributed in a family.
The The Chinese traditional culture values of harmony, benevolence, righteousness, wisdom, courtesy, honesty, loyalty, and filial piety are embodied in Chinese diplomacy through the concept of harmony, the most important Chinese traditional value. Again, 我的名姓是 Kabiling Gabriel Luis,
霍娇 Santos Georgia Sairin.
and that's all about
China. Thank you for watching. Kong Hei Fat Choi. Xie xie.
Nin hao, Shen Wo, 我的名字是 Kabiling Gabriel Luis, Song Great Saint Bridget, 代表 China, 谢谢。
Jiao, Santos Georgia Sairin. Song, Cretan Saint Bridget. 代表 China. 太谢谢你了。
As you open your doors to welcome us, our journey begins, we spread our wings. We begin our mission and embrace our purpose to become better persons, to give and to serve. You sharpen our minds and you own our skills. You teach us the values that we need. We find meaning and direction in our journey for the service of God and community. Our DRSNA, wherever we may go, the knowledge we learn and the values we gain will never go in vain as we honor you, our DRSNA. Whatever we may do, a person for others will always remain. Today and always will honor you, our DRSNA. Whatever we may do, a person for others will always remain. Today and always will